Hey y'all, I just wanted to take a second and try to explain to you guys what your macros are, how you find them in MyFitnessPal, and how to log them. So first thing is what they are. Your macros are just your amount of calories, protein, carbs, and fats that you're going to eat every day. Your macros do not change from day to day. So if you don't work out one day, you don't need to lower your calories or your macros. They're just going to stay the same every day. Your activity level and the number of days you're going to work out were taken into account when I figured them. So the main thing with counting your macros is going to be learning to read a nutrition label. Just about everything has a nutrition label, especially snacks and that kind of stuff. The only thing that you may find that doesn't have a nutrition label will be fresh fruits and vegetables, and if you get some type of meat from like a local butcher shop, it may not have a nutrition label, but it's not a big deal. You'll just go into your diary in MyFitnessPal and manually search that, and you'll just have to weigh out those foods and then log it into your diary. But for the most part, everything has a nutrition label. And the things that do have a nutrition label also have a barcode. So this RX bar is going to have nutrition label here that you need to look at first to decide if you think that the calories are good enough to fit into your macros for the day. If they are, you can go into MyFitnessPal and go under diary, and if this is going to be a snack, I'm going to choose snacks, and then at the top of the screen it's going to say scan barcode. I'm just going to scan this barcode and it's going to log it into my snacks. I don't have to manually search for RX bar or what flavor it is or anything like that. It'll automatically pull it up. So like I said, most everything has a nutrition label and a barcode on it. Protein powder, barcode on the back. Almond milk, if you're using it for a protein shake, there's a barcode on the back. You'll just have to measure out how much milk you're going to use for that. Rice cakes, protein bars, yogurt, any of that stuff is going to have a barcode that you can just scan it in. Do want to mention that meat should be weighed raw. If you forget to weigh it raw, it's not a big deal. The calories are just going to be a little bit off, but when you either search or scan a barcode for meat, the calories and macros for that are raw. Vegetables don't really change either way before or after they're cooked, so you can measure those however you want. So when you log your food for the day, if I've had breakfast, lunch, and a snack, I'm going to go into my diary on MyFitnessPal, and at the very bottom of the screen it's going to say nutrition. You're going to click nutrition, and then at the top of the screen it's going to bring up nutrients and macros. The macros are just the percentages. They don't actually give you a breakdown, so we're not going to worry with that. We're going to pick nutrients. Your nutrients are going to show you what your goal is set for and how much you have left for the day. So if your goal is set for 130 grams of protein and you've had 100 grams for the day, it's going to let you know you have 30 left that you need to try and work into your dinner or maybe a later snack. It's going to take trial and error to figure this out. So for the first probably week, 2 weeks, maybe even longer, you're probably going to realize that you take in a lot of carbs and fats and you probably don't get enough protein for the day. So we want to figure out how to make a nice balance of all those and make them work together and fit. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece. The great thing about eating macros is that if you're really craving something sweet or starchy, or you're going out to eat, you can work that into your macros. We want to eat whole foods most of the time because your whole foods are going to be, they're going to keep you full longer. They're going to have all your micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals in them, which are, also really important. But it gives you flexibility to work things in. So we're at the ball field a lot. If I know that we are going to be at the ball field late and we're going to run through Chick-fil-A afterwards, that earlier during the day, I'm going to go ahead and log in what I want from Chick-fil-A. So I'm probably going to get a chicken cool wrap, some fries, and some dressing for the wrap. I'm going to go ahead and log that into my dinner, and then I'm going to work the rest of my day around that meal, which means that I may have to have a lighter lunch and breakfast, but I'm going to get what I want at dinner and not feel deprived, if that makes sense. So I always think that, macros is a very lifestyle approach. If you're busy or have kids, it's just an easy way to live. You don't have to, constantly feel like you got to just eat broccoli and chicken when you go out to eat. So hope that made this easier for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know.